Age-restricted sales training module. In this training, we will cover the company policies and procedures regarding the sale of age-restricted items to minors, state laws and penalties associated with these types of transactions, and finally, the consequences of your actions and the people who are affected by those actions. At the end of each of these 3 sections, you will be quizzed on what you've learned. Section 1, Company Policies and Procedures. The purpose of this section is to make cashiers aware of company policies and procedures regarding the sale of alcohol, tobacco, and other age-restricted items. The most common age-restricted items are alcohol and tobacco. However, smoking devices like pipes or e-cigarettes and other items can also be age-restricted by state law. The legal purchasing age for tobacco and alcohol are different. Customers must be 18 years old to purchase tobacco, but 21 to buy alcohol. We strive to be a responsible vendor and prohibit the sale of age-restricted products to minors. You are responsible for requesting ID if the customer appears to be under 40, and to enter the date of birth into the register as it appears on the ID. If you are not 100% certain that the customer is under 40, simply ask for ID. There are 3 valid forms of identification that you can accept: a state-issued license or ID card, a U.S. passport, and a U.S. Armed Services ID. Never ask a customer for his or her date of birth. You must only ask for ID when necessary. If the customer appears to be 40, bypass the age verification process. Never enter a date of birth that you have not read off of the customer's ID. This is against company policy. Section 2, State Laws and Penalties. In this section, we will quickly review the state laws governing the sale of age-restricted items and the penalties that may be imposed for breaking those laws. In order to ensure that the customer is of legal age for every age-restricted sale, every store's cash register has been set up to correspond with your state's requirements. Follow these simple steps. First, request a valid form of ID for customers under 40. Next, enter the date of birth into the register by either scanning, swiping, or manually entering the information. Then, check for the approval message from the cash register. Remember, let the register do the work. Failure to comply with the law may result in termination of employment, a criminal record, fines up to $1,000, imprisonment up to 60 days, community service, and possibly a loss of college scholarships. Don't be a statistic. ID under 40. Section 3. Consequences. In this section, we will help you understand the consequences of your actions and who is truly affected by those actions.
Alcohol, I think a lot of young people don't consider it a drug because it's acceptable. It's not like crack cocaine where you have to buy it on the sneak and, go to a corner and buy it.
Because it's legal and it's everywhere, it's readily available. I don't think it has the same necessarily dangerous stigma as other substances.
I would hear stories in college and in high school where people would come to talk and tell them how it would drinking affected their lives, and I'd think that was sad, but that's not going to happen to me.
Kids' brains are developing in a way where they don't, perceive consequences. They are more willing to take risks, act impulsively. A lot of it is developmental. The problem is that when you place that, in a situation with a dangerous substance, with high-risk behavior, it's going to lead to unfortunate results and sometimes devastating results.
You wouldn't think that Molly was that type of person to, go out, get drunk, and die. I think it was such a shock to everyone that, it was just crazy.
According to the 2010 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, more than 40% of crash fatalities involving 18, 19, and 20-year-olds are alcohol-related. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, each year more than 2,800 youths under the age of 21 die in alcohol-related traffic fatalities. Of states in which we operate, account for 6% of these fatalities. Not only do underage sales affect you, your family, and your company, but it also affects the family and friends of those who purchase the items. In this case, many lives were affected and many losses were felt by all involved, but the greatest loss was this young person's life. You have a responsibility to your employer, your customers, and your community. You are responsible for every age-restricted sale.